Still in his early 20s, this ex-Chelsea man has a point to prove. After his mega deal to Man United, we think now is a good time to uncover his fantastic career so far, his luxurious assets, and more. Welcome to the lifestyle of Mason Mount. Mason Mount was born on the 10th of January 1999 in Portsmouth, England. At the age of 4, he would be scouted by Portsmouth and Chelsea, later training in their respective academies. But idolizing Frank Lampard, Mount would opt to join Chelsea in 2005. At only 15, Mount would play for the club's under-18 team. His double-digit return in the 2016 and 17 campaign would seal the title that year, beating London rivals Arsenal. His early career would also see him win a UEFA Youth League, 2 FA Youth Cups, and Chelsea's Academy Player of the Year in 2017. To gain a higher level of experience, Mount would join Eredivisie club Vitesse on a season-long loan and would make his first start for the club in September. Mount would hit the ground running, scoring his first goal against Utrecht. That year would see him score a further 8 times in 28 appearances, earning him the Vitesse Player of the Year, as well as featuring the Eredivisie Team of the Season. This successful loan spell would see Mount return to Chelsea, but they were still not convinced and would again loan him elsewhere, this time to Championship side Derby County. Not letting this affect him, Mount would score in August again during the opening games, before later achieving his first ever hat-trick against Bolton in April. His impact was enormous for the club and ensured Derby were kept in contention for the promotion playoff. Now recognized as a serious talent, Mount would return to Chelsea and sign a new 5-year deal. With his Chelsea career finally up and running, Mount would make his debut away to Manchester United on the 11th of August, before scoring his first goal a week later against Leicester City in a 1-1 draw. He would appear a further 52 times that year in Frank Lampard's Chelsea team, returning in 17. This was a solid start to his Chelsea career, but arguably his breakthrough moment would come the following season. Now under German boss Thomas Tuchel, Mount would score and seal a shock 2-0 victory against Spanish giants Real Madrid. This would see Chelsea, who struggled domestically that year, reach the final of the Champions League. In a tough battle, Mount would inspire his teammates to victory, overcoming the odds and beating English rivals Manchester City. Playing a huge role in the club's success, Mount would become Chelsea's Player of the Year. During his second season at the club, Mount would reach new personal heights, returning a record 29 times in all competitions. This would warrant another Chelsea Player of the Season award, the first player to do it back-to-back since club legend Eden Hazard. Yet, despite this incredible start to his Chelsea career, it comes as a huge surprise to see him largely miss out on the 2022 and 23 campaign. After Thomas Tuchel's shock sacking earlier in the season, Mount's form would steadily decline. He would also fail to agree on a new deal and would later decide to leave the club at the end of the season. Onto the international stage, Mount would make his senior debut in September 2019 against Bulgaria. He would score his first goal a couple of months later. His impressive showing earning him a place in the 26-man England squad. Unable to replicate his form, however, Mount would only assist once in 5 matches. Still trying to find his place in a competitive England squad, Mount would again be called up for the 2022 World Cup. Despite featuring regularly, he was largely ineffective throughout the tournament. As successful as he is, Mason couldn't have done it without his parents. His father, Tony, was a key figure in his development. Once a footballer himself, Tony would help train Mason when he was 4 years of age. He took a part-time coaching role at his local side in Hampshire, and would always dream about his son becoming a star player one day. His faith in his son has almost certainly been repaid, with the two continuing to share a great relationship today. Mason's mother is Debbie Mount. Not much is known about her as she likes to keep her life private, but regardless, she did play a key role in Mason's development, often keeping him grounded and focused during the earlier years. As of today, she is happily married to Tony, the two currently sharing a loving relationship. Mason also has an older sister, Jasmine, and an older brother named Lewis. Both are often seen supporting Mason on his journey so far. Mason has also been in a relationship with model Chloe Watts. Despite the pair sharing a connection since 2017, their relationship would not materialize, with Mount stating that football is his priority. As of today, he is currently single. With an inspiring start to his footballing career, it comes as no surprise that Mount has a very luxurious property. Located in one of London's exclusive neighborhoods, Mount's stunning home boasts a beautiful beige exterior with additional spots of grays and whites. This has created an inviting and soothing atmosphere. Moving inside, we can see that Mount has a clear interest in Nike products. Displayed here on a glass-fronted wall is his impressive Nike trainers collection. That's a lot of shoes. With an eye for style, Mount also has a fully decked out gaming room. This sleek setup is the perfect place to unwind after a hard day's work. Mason's home also features a large and stunning garden, which includes a full-size football goal. That takes up a lot of space, as well as a decent-sized swimming pool to cool off after his workouts. To match his beautiful home, Mount also has a range of flashy sports cars, one of which is the popular Audi Q8. A spacious vehicle, Mount's Audi is perfect for family outings and trips, and as one of the sportiest of all SUVs today, it comes as no surprise that it's worth an expensive 85,000 euros. Another beauty in Mount's collection has to be his stunning Mercedes S-Class, designed for pleasure and comfort. The S-Class hosts a range of features, including rear massage seats, LED ambient lighting, and even air suspension for a light and cushioning ride. This is arguably the most comfortable car in the world and one that Mount couldn't resist. But last but not least, and arguably Mount's favorite, has to be the Mercedes X65 Coupe. This sleek, high-performance vehicle includes a turbocharged V12 that delivers a monstrous 600 brake horsepower. But it's not only fast, it also has style, with its dynamic cruise control, heated seats, and 24-speaker stereo system. The X65 impressively combines the experience of both speed and luxury, a combination that costs him well over 200,000 euros. So overall, Mount's car collection is worth an enormous 425,000 euros in 2023. Despite living a life of luxury, Mount has not forgotten about the power of his position. In January 2021, Mount would become an ambassador for what must be one of the most heartbreaking causes possible: Together for Short Lives. The charity's goal is to help families and kids with life-limiting, life-threatening conditions. Mount would visit Christopher's Children's Hospice in October, his first opportunity during the pandemic to properly visit and engage with the families and children. There were lots of smiles and laughter, with the children even getting the opportunity to learn some football skills. In March 2022, Mount would also host a 1-hour session at Chelsea's training ground. 9 youngsters would be given the time of their lives as they would enjoy a range of fun and exciting footballing activities. It would be an experience they would never forget, with many families showing immense appreciation for this event. After proving his talent through loan spells with Vitesse and Derby, Mount would be rewarded with a 5-year deal at Chelsea in 2019. This would see him earn 93,000 euros a week, which is over 4 million per year. To go alongside this sizable contract, Mount would also become an ambassador for his favorite sports brand, Nike. This was a long-term deal, with the brand still endorsing him today. As a fellow gamer himself, Mount would also become an ambassador for Combat Gaming, a brand that brings like-minded people together to do what they enjoy most. Mount's support for the brand would also see him pictured on the front cover of their website. As of today, his brand earnings are yet to be disclosed, but rumor has it that he's earning well into 6 figures. So overall, to compile his career earnings and endorsements, Mount's net worth is set to be as high as 22 million euros in 2023.